Hi, today we're going to read the book called Night Tree by Eve Bunting. It was illustrated by Ted Rand. So Ted drew all the pictures and Eve wrote the words. Eve is the author. Night Tree. On the night before Christmas, we always go to find our tree. We bundle up so we're warm. Nina is already wearing her boots that are too big for her. She's been wearing them all day. Dad sets our box in the back of the truck with the rest of his stuff, and the four of us squish into the front seat. We drive through the bright Christmas streets to where the dark and quiet begin. Nina is almost asleep in Mom's lap when we stop. "Are we there?" I ask, and Dad says yes and rolls down the windows so we can smell the tree smell. We scramble out. There are oaks growing here and alder and maples that are bare now and white in the moonshine. The pines and the spruces and the firs are green. So some trees in the winter lose all of their leaves. And so they're bare. They don't have any leaves on them. They're empty, without anything covering them. And then the pines and the spruces and the firs are all green still. They make good Christmas trees. This is called Luke's Forest, but Dad says it's not really a forest, just a nice forgotten place where our town ends. Dad goes first on the path between the trees, carrying our box and the big red lantern. Mom and Nina go next, holding hands. I come last with the blanket. Who are our characters in this book? It's his family, yeah. There's Mom and Dad, the little girl is Nina, and this seems to be our main character. What are they doing? I wonder what they need the blanket and the box for. It hasn't snowed yet. It's so cold, my breath hurts. The sky is spattered with stars, and the moon, big as a basketball, slides in and out between the treetops. Dad's lantern sweeps ahead. "Look," he whispers. We stop. A deer is watching us. I see the brightness of its eyes, then it turns and it's gone. "Here's our tree," Dad says. It has been our tree forever and ever. We walk around it, touching it. "It's grown since last year," I say. Mom puts her hand on my shoulder. "So have you." "So have I," Nina says. Nina hates to be left out. An owl hoots deep in the darkness. There are secrets all around us. "Can I put on the popcorn chain?" Nina asks. She hops up and down and right out of one of her boots. Mom helps her get it back on. Popcorn chain. Oh, that must be what this is. So that's a lot of pieces of popcorn, all strung together on a string to make a long chain out of popcorn. And we see some of the things that are in the box. Nina takes off one end of the chain, and I take the other, and we wind it around our tree. We've brought apples and tangerines with strings on them, and we hang them from the branches. It's hard to hang string loops when you have gloves on, but it's too cold to take them off. So they're decorating this tree with food. For weeks we've been making balls of sunflower seeds and pressed millet and honey. We hang those too. We scatter shelled nuts and breadcrumbs and pieces of apple underneath for the little creatures who can't climb very well. Our tree looks so pretty. Mom says I should spread the blanket so we can sit and admire our tree. She has brought a thermos of hot chocolate. I take off my gloves and toast my hands around the warm cup. Dad turns off the lantern and we stay quiet, hoping some of the little animals will come while we're here, hoping the deer will come. But it doesn't come back. It's shy, Dad says. I'm shy too, Nina tells him. Remember, she hates to be left out. Our main character told us how she feels about that. Before we leave, she and I get to choose a Christmas carol to sing. I choose O Come All Ye Faithful. Nina chooses Old MacDonald Had a Farm. That's not a Christmas song, silly, I tell her, but Mom says it's fine and a very nice song too. We sing fast because there are a lot of verses and it's getting colder. After the last EIO, we gather up our things and head for the truck. I look back once. Our tree has folded itself into the darkness, but I think I can see it still, stars cut up in its branches and the moon swinging lopsided on top. Nina gets tired, and Dad has to wrap her in the blanket and carry her. I carry her boots. Later in bed, I think about our tree, and sometimes, next day, when the aunts and the uncles and the cousins are at our house and it's noisy and happy, I let my mind go back to Luke's forest. I think of the birds having Christmas dinner, and the squirrels and the possums and the raccoons and the skunks. There might even be a bear, because Dad says bears don't really sleep all winter, and if one's going to wake up, I just bet it would wake up for Christmas. Maybe a fox has come, stepping high on its thin, sharp paws, and they're all there together singing their own Christmas songs on Christmas Day around our tree. What was the setting for this book? Remember, the setting is where the story happens. What is the setting for this book? It's in Luke's forest, yeah, in the forest where there's a bunch of trees. And Dad had said it wasn't really a forest, but just a bit of woods on the outskirts of town. So in the beginning of the book, they weren't there yet. They got into the truck in the beginning of the book to drive there. And then once they got there, what did they do? They found a tree that was very special to them. Let's retell using just the pictures, because that's what readers can do. They can read the pictures. The family all got into the truck. They got out at Luke's forest. They went for a walk in the woods. They saw a deer. They found a special tree that they liked. It was so quiet. They could hear the owl. Nina's boots keep falling off. They got out the popcorn chain. They decorated the tree with food, like apples, tangerines, and seed balls and popcorn strings. And it was so pretty. They spread out a blanket and had hot chocolate. They sang Christmas songs, and Old MacDonald too. Nina fell asleep. Once they got back, he kept thinking about the tree. and he kept thinking about animals in the forest. What was he thinking that they would do? Yes, he was thinking that they would have Christmas dinner too, that they would all be eating the food that they put on the tree. It's important when you retell a story to be able to name the characters, the setting, the beginning, the middle, and the end. Some books have a problem and a solution. And if so, we have to tell about that too. We can use the pictures to help us retell. You can do that with your books as well. Thanks for reading this book with me.